What's going on, everybody? We are live, man.
What up?
Already,
What up? How y'all doing?
we're on episode 3 already of season 3, man. That crazy, ain't that right, Flash? I'm
Yes.
A. Oh yeah, for all y'all who don't know us, I'm A's. The one on my over there on my right. He can do his
Yeah.
own intro. No,
What up? I'm Flash.
there we
I,
go.
I I didn't. I just said I'm Flash, man. What are
Oh,
you talking
sorry,
about?
sorry. He's U. National Alumni President Flash. So let's make sure we get that straight. I'm just messing. We're gonna have a great episode tonight. We have some new stuff in the NFL. It's kind of slowed down in the free agency world, but we did get a new big contract extension. We have some other stuff to talk about in the NFL. The draft's 2.5 weeks away, essentially. We're gonna do some NBA play-in previews. The tournament started already. Brooklyn's up right now against Cleveland. So it's up 49-37, almost halftime already. So JP might give us score updates as we go through the show. But yeah, we got NHL's coming in final stretch. We'll give a little breakdown of that and hot topics. I mean, Flash, you got anything you want to add?
Um,
Seahawks.
I I really don't have a lot to say today. It's been a kind of somewhat uneventful weekend, except for a few things. But I mean, Ace really wants to talk about them the most, so I'm gonna let Ace do his talking today.
About what?
Everything, because I am. There's not a lot of things I'm like excited for in sports at the moment, to be honest.
No Seabird stuff. There was an interesting stat out from
Well, I mean that's you. That is you. So
Sports Muse was giving us stuff. Ooh, the Rays are up 5-3 on Oakland. That's good to know after, especially
look,
last night's blowout.
Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda.
Ain't nobody care about no Baby Yoda right now.
I care about Baby
show,
Yoda.
not a Star Wars show. But all right,
Baby Yoda.
tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. Today is running gun. We're gonna have a guest on for us as the FAMU's passing game coordinator. But yeah, we're gonna hit this intro. Stay tuned. We're gonna start right after this.
I do want to mention something. We do have a new insider for sources and stats and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you'll see later on. We'll see about that. All right.
Before we get into
you know what, just something random. I just want to say that new opening. I'm still in love with it. I still like it.
We need to add some clips of our show and to add into it, mixed in with the highlights. I think we need to add some of that so it gives.
No. I think it's fine as it is. I mean,
no, but you gotta show what the show is, not just only the videos of the sport. It's the people in the show.
I disagree. You know what? It kind of shows there's like our taste in sports and stuff a little bit. All right. Only thing I kind of don't care for is the Rams on that one throw
and ending the Bucs season. I like that a lot.
I'm like meh on that. So you don't talk to me about that Bucs fans. You talk to Mr. Saints bias over there.
All right.
I thought you should hate the Saints more than. I mean, I thought you should hate the Rams more than the Bucs, man. What you're weird. I'm sorry. You are very.
But anyway, rest in peace, Dwyane Haskins. That was
rest in peace
on Saturday.
And you know what? I think Chef D is going to some backlash for saying what he said in that tweet. Do you want to say it for me?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this since I got auto blocked from him, and before that even. I said Rappaport's always been better. I always take the rap sheet over to Schefter, man. And Saturday, a lot of people. I mean, he's been screwing. This man's just been insensitive as hell the last year or so. And there's a countless situations. I'm not going to list them all. You can look that up for yourselves. But I mean, that the part where you just talk about the guy's struggles in the NFL, when the same tweet where you say that he's passed away, like, come on now, that's just wrong. You just say he was a great
Whoa.
all
Oh,
that.
I'll talk about that in a minute. Yes, I think that is messed up. I'll talk about what I just saw in a moment.
And that's all you're gonna say. That's messed up.
Yeah, that is messed up. I mean, you don't do that on someone who just died on a tweet. You just don't
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Like,
And then there's the
like, 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 we're talking about someone that has made it into the league, and you're going to talk about him being trash in the league. Like, do you understand the population of how many people
he
actually
was
made
in
the
the
league?
most dysfunctional organization, and we're gonna talk about that right now. Where the Washington, I don't know if we're allowed to say it anymore, but Washington football team, Washington Commanders, whatever. Yeah, that Dan Snyder needs to sell that team like ASAP, man. They just had a thing where the how do you want to say investigator were filed into the Federal Trade Commission that he was withholding over $5 million from season ticket holders and the NFL. Like this man had two books for himself, one private, one person, like
I
team for the NFL and everything. This man's so greedy, and just that whole organization has just been a fire show. I'm not gonna say it the other way I was thinking, but you get the point. And Flash, I mean, you can't really blame Dwayne for how his career turned out when you see the
I'm going to
dysfunction that
say this right
he's
now. All
going through
right.
this organization.
Well, if that's coming out, I think now is the time for Dan Snyder to sell the team so he can
He
get the
should have
most
sold that team
profit
after last year.
from this team that he could make, even though he's sabotaging his own team value. That I'm just going to say that now's the time for him to sell. He's got to sell it now. Because from the looks of it, things are going to go worse and worse for Dan Snyder right now.
Mm. I mean, there's not like much people that are gonna be interested in the team. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like Bezos offers it because there was rumors of him lurking around when the sexual misconduct and stuff was going on in the facility. When that report came out a couple of years ago, there were rumors lurking of Bezos going and checking to see how much the team would cost. But I mean, that team is going to need a new stadium because that stadium is just garbage. Like crap is literally coming out of the pipes, leaking out of the pipes and stuff. And
I mean, Jalen Hurts had to save a fan.
Jalen Hurts almost died too in that stadium. I mean, the turf's horrible. You already seen how many guys be destroying their legs over in Washington. I mean, you need to just like destroy that whole place and just get a new stadium. I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna take, considering the Broncos are also for sale, but there's gonna be two teams up for sale now. So I mean, hey, you guys in the YouTube channel or everything. Oh yeah, if you're watching on Twitter,
I think a bunch of Washington fans should make an attempt and buy the team. just amass all the fans of Washington and have them just put a few dollars in and buy the team, or a couple grand if making an investment. That might be. I think they could do a better job owning team. I want to talk about something. This caught my attention. Dalvin Cook switching his numbers. I'm proud. I'm glad he like that. Number 4 is a trademark of the Cook family. For those who don't know, who has like paid attention from his high school to his brother, number 4 is a big deal of that family. So I'm happy for Dalvin.
He said Cook. You're gonna see a different Dalvin Cook you ain't seen before in the NFL. So, I mean, you just gotta stay healthy.
I'm just gonna say that's his talk for now, but I'll be keeping my eye on him this season a little bit more.
I mean, also, I was like, do you want any other players to switch their numbers to like college or family numbers? I'm still waiting for Kamara to switch his number to 6. Like his Twitter thing is even Alvin Kamara _6. Like the dude really needs to switch it over to 6 now. Enough of the 41. Let's go to 6 just for the hell of it. But I mean, you have any other players you want to switch the number?
Nothing that strikes me in my mind. Maybe I mean Jameis is wearing what number 3 in New Orleans?
He's wearing 2.
That's his number, or is
he's wearing
maybe Jameis could go back. And that's I can't think of any at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're like a standout player, like probably Cooper Kupp, I would probably say request for your old number, a high school number, maybe. That's all I could think of. There's nothing right now that could make me think on who should change the numbers.
All right. Anywho, you want to talk about this Seattle? They have a weird thing going on there. So they have the second receiving duo in the NFL, where DK and Lockett are ranked second, like 18 yards from our good friends at Sports Muse. Sports Muse one on Twitter, run by moi.
Sports Muse talk about real sports, ladies and gentlemen, and Sports Muse has caught the attention of DK Metcalf,
Darius Leonard, Quandre Diggs. Hey, we getting up there. We're already up at 70 followers in 2 days.
So definitely follow Sports Muse. It's better than Stats Muse. Sports Muse would actually take on the bigger bullies at sometimes instead of being a loser like Stat Muse. So definitely follow Sports Muse. All right. What's the at, Ace?
At Sports Muse 1. I gotta make sure I said that right. Sports Muse 1. SPORTSMUSE 1. There you go. Right there. That's
there we go. Follow Sports Muse 1. The best account for sports. Real sports. Not stupid stats. Real. All right, Mr. Ace. Tell me about this. What is the purpose of Sports Muse?
So this tweet actually caught a banger last night. So it was they were talking about DK and Lock and what you rate them, right? So I put in the chat. Came out with this tweet earlier in the day. I said Tyler Lockett is leading the league in total yards since 2015 with 10.6 thousand, like 10,590 something. I just put it up to 10.6 thousand. I mean, the dude drafted was 39th overall, 69th overall in the 3rd round. I mean, you're finding studs everywhere in the draft. Like Stephon Diggs in the same class. He was in the 5th round. I mean, there's guys everywhere, but I want to talk mainly about what do you think Seattle's going to do with Lockett and with Metcalf, given that, Flash putting into the NBA session something. But I mean, this question mainly for you, Flash. I mean, what do you think Seattle's going to do with Lockett and Metcalf, knowing their production so well? They're ranked number 2 in the league. Lockett's leading the league in total yards since he's been in the league. I mean, what do you think they're going to do with them? With no Russ, and they're going to probably give Drew Lock a chance.
You know what? Look, let me tell you the reason why Russ left Seattle, all right? They have no offensive line. I haven't heard anything about them getting any offensive line pieces.
We're going to talk in 2 weeks. The draft preview we're going to do in 2 weeks. I want to say the exact date is the 26th. We're going to do our draft preview then. And that is one of the questions we're going to talk about, if Seattle's going to do offensive line or safety or corner. One of those 3 positions is probably what they're going to address in the draft. But you're not answering my question about wide receiver. What are they going to do with Metcalf and Lockett?
I am not a Seattle Seahawks insider. I mean, hey, you know what?
What do you want them to do as a fan?
Not waste their careers. If they're going to keep them, don't waste their careers. Especially with a talent like Lockett and Metcalf and the numbers they do, don't waste their careers. Get a better O-line for whoever is stepping in as quarterback. I mean, look. I mean, if you're the Seattle Seahawks, you're already looking at a few tanking seasons before they probably get back in the mix. They also have to start looking at upcoming future quarterbacks if they're going to run with Drew Lock for now. I mean, when I think about it, I don't think Seattle should trade for Baker. That's just the contract they should not touch for now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's my point of view at the moment. Just shop around, see if there's a quarterback that's open for wanting a new home. I mean, Seattle's a very attractive market with the fans and how dedicated how they are.
Well, also here's
and Seattle's somewhat of a better city than, I don't know, cough Los Angeles or San Francisco when you think about it. It is a better city. I mean, there's less homeless people in Seattle than versus LA and San Francisco.
And the taxes, I don't think. Well, traffic's not as bad as it is in LA, so that's a good plus sign.
That's another plus. The weather isn't terrible up there as well. I mean,
well, it's just a lot of rain.
A lot of rain and stuff, but I mean,
don't worry too much about an earthquake coming and destroying your whole city if you're in like San Francisco. But we're not here to bash the cities. Come on now.
Well, I don't know. Seattle could catch earthquake, but still. I mean, I'm trying to promote Seattle as a.
Why are you talking so loud? Lower your volume.
I'm trying to promote Seattle at the moment as a city.
Horrible.
Why is it horrible?
Noah Fant is the first Seattle Seahawks to have their 5th-year option picked up since they implemented in 2013 or whatever year it was. So I mean, they didn't have a first-round pick for a while. Then they've drafted. I mean, Rashad Penny didn't get his picked up. Jordan Brooks is to be determined. They said LG Collier is probably not going to get his picked up. So I mean, no fancy first guy. I mean, they would think high of him. But for this question, you go first. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Lower your volume and talk.
Cheetah or Waddle? What?
Yeah, because they said they're gonna race each other.
Tyreek,
Like
please.
obviously,
let's not even entertain it. Unless Tyreek's hurt, Tyreek's gonna win. Let's not entertain it.
unless he goes and stumbles at the start like he did in the Pro Bowl. Then Jalen Waddle gets.
I don't think Tyreek takes these improv race very seriously. I just don't think so.
He just wants to race Usain Bolt just to get smoked. That's
well,
all he wants.
I wouldn't say Tyreek is going to get smoked by Usain. I think a lot of people actually do not understand Tyreek in terms of speed, how fast he really is.
Well, an interesting thing about Tyreek, I did this earlier. Out of the 2016 draft class, only 3 wide receivers have been relevant in the entire class. Tyler Boyd is third in half the stats rated, but number 1 and 2 is alternating between Michael Thomas and Tyreek Hill for most receptions, yards, and touchdowns. I mean, Tyreek's played a lot more games than he has, but I mean, hey, Tyreek want to go for trying to catch Davante Adams for the most yards and stuff since 2016. I would go right ahead. That'd be fun to do. But I mean, yeah, Stephon Diggs also, he's getting a 4-year, $96 million deal. So after seeing Davante Adams and also, Tyreek Hill getting their big deals, Stephon Diggs said, "I pay me too." And he just got his deal. Deebo Samuel unfollowed the entire San Francisco organization because he said, "You paid these 3 guys. I want my money because I am doing running back and wide receiver stuff." So, and San Francisco also said they're ready. They're going to trade. They could trade anybody if they get the right offer. So that's any franchise, but especially with the whole Deebo situation, I don't know if they're going to pay him a crap ton of money right now. But what do you think they're going to do with Deebo, given how Stephon, Tyreek...
You know what? I'm going to start off with this. I kind of understand why players want their money. I kind of understand it, especially with how COVID is and the cost of living and everything is going up. I get that. At the same time, though, you kind of have to look yourself in the mirror and you got to be like, all right, you know what? Am I really that big of a deal to the team where I should be paid that kind of money? I think that should be the biggest question. In terms of say for this team and economics and stuff, I do think the NFL needs to redo their luxury tax limit too as well, because of these hard times with as I said, cost of living is going up. I mean, gas is what, $6 a gallon in California or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thankfully, in Florida, it's around $4. Thankfully, but don't come to Florida, please, guys. Don't. All right.
All right, let's talk your special meeting over the weekend. Who
Peeps,
you meet?
got a picture? Peeps, you got the picture? I sent it to you. You got to put it up.
That might take some time there, bud.
It might take some time. We could
just
keep
tell
talking.
the people. Just tell the people.
Let's keep talking, and then when Peeps put it up, then he'll put it up.
All right. Well, then we'll do our play-in preview. So, Shans was saying earlier today on the Pat McAfee show that they don't expect Ben Simmons to be back until probably game 3 or 4 in the first round. And currently, right now, they are 57-43 on the Cleveland Cavaliers, where KD's got 12 and Kyrie's already dropping 20 on it. So, no picture for you, Flash. You're going to just have to tell the people who you saw. But anyway, yeah, Kyrie's got 20 already at halftime. I mean,
I might be able to get it. Hang on.
He's not even focusing on that. He's just.
I am focusing. Go on. Keep talking.
Well, you're not even saying much. Okay, whatever. Yeah, so there's going to be Ben Simmons coming back game 3, and they're possibly most likely at this point in time playing the Celtics. I mean, what do you think that whole series is going to go, especially with Ben not coming back until game 3?
I think, as of right now, I think I got the Celtics. Even though the Celtics are hot, though, and it's still kind of new coaching. Unlike Brooklyn, you kind of seen Brooklyn in that moment, but at the same time, Brooklyn's defense is kind of suspect. So, I like the Celtics. I have to go with the Celtics. I mean, I think the coach is groomed for the moment.
I got Nets in 7.
Nets in 7.
Yeah, I already said Kyrie's going to be stomping on the Celtics logo at the end of Game 7.
I'm going to have to disagree on that take. I'm sorry. I just Celtics defense is better than what we're giving them credit for. And Jason
Nah,
Tatum
we're gonna talk about defense.
has been going hot for in the right time. So I gotta go with the Celtics. Brooklyn's defense, on the other hand, they can't guard anyone. I mean, it's the reasons they've been losing some suspects. And say a night where I don't know, Kyrie goes cold or KD goes cold, they don't have enough defensive power to like stop the other team. Long series, don't get it wrong. It's gonna be a 7-game, 6-game series.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to find. Okay, so who won these games? I'm trying to figure this out. So the season, the hell is this I'm looking at? I'm trying to figure out the season series here, but it's not giving me a straight answer. But yeah, we'll get back to you on that one. But so for that, Zion's not playing tomorrow night for the Pelicans against the Spurs. So I don't think that's going to be too much of a big deal. I think Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum are going to get the job done. And they're going to win that game, and they're going to play whoever loses between the Timberwolves and Clippers. I think there's a legit possibility to see the Pelicans as the 8th seed.
You got the Pelicans on the H.
He is not. What you doing
I'm sorry. I'm trying to grab something. All right. Anyways,
he's too focused on his picture.
No. All right. So who we got right now? I'm sorry.
I just said that Zion's not playing in the play-in, but they're going to have a healthy Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. And as of right now, they're playing San Antonio tomorrow, and they're going to probably play. I'm going to assume Minnesota on like Saturday or whatever day the second game is.
That's tough. How did Jordan get that picture?
Picture's way too big.
All right. Hey, yep. Jordan, don't worry. I'm a screen share.
This is taking too long. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Any day now. Because Flash has to have it this way. Okay, I guess I still keep talking.
So I'm gonna say right now that all right, so yeah, there's me and we got Mr. Dennis Rodman right here. Got to meet him this past weekend while he was down in Sarasota. So shout out for him for letting me take a picture with him. It's not every day you get to see someone from that 97 Bulls team.
96.
So 96, 97.
It's mostly not 96, but it's not also 97.
Hey man, so we kind of moment. So all right, that's all I gotta say about that. It's cool to meet Dennis Rodman.
He got it out of his system. Great. Now we can actually focus on the questions of the Pelicans trying to make it to the actual playoffs.
All right. I have to give it to the Pelicans. I think Pelicans are just better at the moment. Unless Popovich, pulls out a trick out of Popovich.
DeJounte Murray is the first player since Michael Jordan to be averaging 21, 9, and 8 under like a certain age or whatever. So, and like some crazy efficiency. So that's good for them. But I don't think they're going to be able to withstand Murray, McCollum, and Ingram. But we shall see. Let's talk about the Timberwolves and Clippers. There's not much really to talk about. It's a Pat Bev revenge game, but I think Paul George is going to get in the bag.
Please. I think the Timberwolves are going to be out. If they don't lose to the Clippers, they are going to lose in the first round.
Well, they do have a good record when D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns play, but I'm not entirely sure they're going to be able to. I think if anything, they're going to probably beat the Pelicans, but we shall see. Anyway, let's talk about your Lakers. You talk about your Lakers and your Frank Vogel rant. Because as we know, they have.
Oh, you know what? I did all my rants about Frank Vogel, but I'm glad he's fired. I think the handle is firing in the wrong way. It just only shows how dysfunctional the Lakers organization is in the whole nutshell. Like, look, the Los Angeles Lakers, if they had never got LeBron, would not be where they are right now. They would be in a tanking cycle as of right now. And it's just due to terrible ownership and management as of right now. I'm going to say that right now. If they have not landed LeBron James,
they'd have Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart,
yeah, but guess what? Those guys have been misused.
And they would actually still have some picks.
Yeah, they would still have some picks, but guess what? Those guys would not have been used very well, and they would probably be a bottom 8 team or even a lottery team again. With how they're being used. Look at how much times those guys were getting bashed in LA before they were shipped out, and now Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram are playing much better.
Well,
Just something
Lonzo
to
still
think about.
can't stay healthy in his career. That's just Lonzo in a nutshell.
Yeah,
Okay,
but his play has been way better too, though. And Brandon
okay,
Ingram was catching a lot of slander
okay.
back in
Here's
his
the
LA
thing
days.
that's
So I'm
interesting.
just gonna say that. Number two, Frank Vogel. I mean, I already obviously explained his problems. I mean, he's okay as a defensive coach, but as an offensive coach, he cannot do anything right. He does not know his guys. He lets secondhand players think that they're starting role players, like starting
Avery
players.
Bradley.
That Avery Bradley is being treated like a superstar, or let's just say Malik Monk. I mean, yes,
Number one
Malik Monk.
option.
They've been treating Malik Monk as the number one option when you have Russell Westbrook and LeBron James on that team. All right, that's something that irked a lot of Lakers fans about Frank Vogel. So I'm glad he's gone, but it was very handled inappropriately, and stuff like that is going to hurt the Lakers down long term as a franchise. And the loyal fans are going to suffer a lot for it, unfortunately.
Hmm.
I'm
Okay,
still
you
on
got.
the train. I'm still on the train of Russ to be out of LA. I'm still on that train to this day.
So where do you want him to go? Indiana or Charlotte? The idea of him going to Charlotte is just stupid.
Well, I mean, it depends who Charlotte gives up, or if he declines that contract extension.
No, I'm just saying the fit of him and LaMelo isn't gonna work
I mean,
because both
Lamelo's
need that ball in their hand to be good.
well. I mean, you could. I mean, a smart coach would stagger the minutes. I mean, a lot of production would happen if they did sign Westbrook and they put LaMelo as starting shooting guard and they just stagger the minutes. Same thing as James Harden and Westbrook. It would work a lot better with LeBron and Westbrook too if Frank Vogel actually allowed Russ to do his thing, even though he did struggle a bit. But hey, like I said, LA's a mess. So I would still love to see Russ back in DC. I think DC has kind of felt like a home for him. I think he just didn't appreciate that as well. Oklahoma City, if Oklahoma wants to trade some of those picks and get some guys ready to roll.
But Indiana wants to swap Hield and Brogdon for Westbrook. So the Lakers end up with who they wanted in Hield before, LeBron wanted Westbrook.
Well, here's the thing. I think the Lakers need to focus on finding a new coach before trying to worry about Westbrook.
I mean, GM needs to stop, but I mean, I don't know if Mark Jackson, who LeBron wants, is going to be the ideal
please
for that. But I mean, what GM hasn't been working.
We've seen what GM how it works out. All right. Who's the most dangerous team in the NBA playoffs?
I can tell you somebody's coming back on Saturday or Sunday or whatever day it is. A 3-point king who hasn't played since March, but I don't know how that's going to work. I think they do beat Denver because Jamal Murray isn't coming back to save Jokic. So unless Jokic goes like Super Saiyan or some crap and just go against Golden State, I don't see Denver coming
Here's
out.
A little score update for y'all. Nets are up on the Cavaliers 67-47. This is something I should say.
I said that it's still at halftime. When they're not at halftime anymore.
No, they're not at halftime.
Yeah, 67. This is just 10-point increases.
A team. I like the Raptors to make some noise. That's my surprise team.
Raptors in 6. Raptors in 7. It's gonna be one of the two. We need to get the predictions in for the series. I think that's what we should do. Picks.
Are we doing picks now?
No. Well, I'm just saying, who do you think is gonna win them? I can tell you, if Utah loses this first round against Dallas, even though Luka has a calf strain, probably not gonna play.
That's a massive stain on Utah. Like
Donovan Mitchell's gone.
They're gonna look like. Oh my god. All right, yeah. Anyways, they're gonna look like the Oklahoma teams that have been bounced in the first round a while, or the Portland teams too.
I can tell you exactly who's going.
Except even worse, they have better pieces than that Oklahoma squad. They have better pieces than that Portland squad that have been getting bounced. That's the worst thing.
I can tell you, I mean, Orlando, just throw in Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, because he'd fit perfectly in with the Mormon ideology, which we're going to talk about in Hot Topics, and a couple of picks, like the Chicago pick if you want. Not the first round pick this year, but the Chicago, Denver, and your next year pick. Like, throw all that in for Donovan Mitchell. That should be
I,
more than enough to get it done.
I feel like the Nuggets could take care of the Warriors as of now. Unpopular opinion.
Steph's coming back.
Yeah. Even when they had Steph, though, Golden State was in a mess since Clay
Yeah, I
came.
mean, I don't think Clay, Draymond, and Steph all played like even 3 games together.
Have they? I don't know.
It was less than
I
10.
thought.
They did not play much of games together.
Well, then it might be a new Warriors team to look out for. But if it's like Steph and Draymond and Clay starting, I just don't see him going that far in the playoffs. If they bench Clay at least for this season, as I said before, I think it would work out much better. That's what I want to say. Bulls and Bucks. Bucks is going to take care of them. Jazz and Mavericks. I like the Mavs. Nuggets and Warriors. As of right now, I like the Nuggets, even though who knows what this Warriors team is going to look like.
I'm trying to look up how many games they played together.
Ooh, I would like the Hornets to take out the Hawks. That would be fun.
Yeah, I still got Cleveland beating whoever wins. Hey, what you doing there?
What you doing there? I'm waiting for.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah. So I feel the Bucks are gonna win it in 5. Denver's gonna lose to the Warriors. I don't know how many games, but it'll probably be like 7.
Yeah, I don't
Mavericks
know.
are gonna win in 6.
I got Nuggets in 6 against the Warriors.
Yeah, I got Mavericks.
No. Yeah, Nuggets in 6. That's
I didn't interrupt you when you did your picks,
All right.
Mavericks in 7, Raptors in 6, because why not? And I don't know who Miami or not Miami. Yeah, Miami or Boston. I don't know who they're playing yet, or Phoenix and Memphis.
We gotta do this like soon.
Whenever the actual games come out, then we'll know. But anyway, Quinn Snyder.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, by then Jordan's gonna have them listed up in the other Instagram stories and stuff. So
yeah, that's fine. Let's move on to the college. I don't know. It's not gonna be football or basketball. We're gonna just call it NCAA section. So Shaden Sharp officially is declaring for the NBA draft, but he's not gonna hire an agent because he wants to keep his ability, so he knows where he's at in like terms of draft stock and all that. And if it's not where he wants, he's gonna go back to. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! The Rams are eyeing Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah,
people. But yeah, he's not gonna hire agents because if this draft stock's not where he's gonna be, he's gonna go back to Kentucky and try to be a top 5, top 6 pick, which is very realistic even this year. But we shall see. Who do you think is gonna go number 1? This one's been a hot topics debate between Jabari Smith, Paolo Banchero, and Chet Holmgren.
For the NBA draft?
Yeah. And then for the NFL.
I have no clue, to be honest.
You have no idea who any of these people are that I just said, do you?
Well, no, I have not been paying attention to the draft stocks.
Of course you haven't. And then you go on a sports show and you don't write nothing about it. Lord, you. Okay, anyway, yeah, I think it's probably going to be Banchero, most likely. I think people are going to realize that Chet Holmgren isn't that. I don't think he's going to be that great.
He's not going number 1.
He's gonna get bodied around. He's not like how DeAndre Ayton's built. And I mean, here's
the thing. Like, you could develop a guy. I mean, you could take a chance on him, but I would not say he's going to be your first round pick.
His
your number 1 pick. He's not going to be the first pick. I don't think so. No.
I think Banchero's got everything that he need, like the playmaking, the shot, the defense, everything's right there for him. So I think that's probably who goes 1. And then for the NFL draft, it's gonna be either Trayvon Walker or Aiden Hutchinson. And the way how you're hearing Trayvon Walker's name increasingly come up is what makes me think he's actually gonna go 1, because there's always these kind of, you have to filter in between the smoke screens and the actual news that is actually coming out, because you always hear sometimes that creep up who's actually going to go at what pick. Because if you remember right before the draft last year, everybody for the couple weeks before the draft, when the Niners made that trade to go up to 3rd, everybody thought it was going to be Mac Jones going there at 3. But then when the week of the draft came around, you started hearing Trey Lance's name come up more and more, and what it turned out to be was Trey Lance. So you gotta keep those everything you hear like there's
Who do you
those
think?
like
Well, let me ask you this: Who do you think Jacksonville is going to take at 1?
I just
Are
said
they?
Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker. I think it's probably gonna be Trayvon Walker at this point because of how much noise you're hearing from him.
Well, I'll say this with Jacksonville, even though I'm not too familiar with the people in the draft, at least the top people in this draft. I've been only paying my
There's
eye.
gonna be a pass rusher going 1. They're not taking an offensive lineman at this point.
I agree with that. They need a defensive leader.
They have Josh Allen, who is actually good, but they're gonna need another running mate for him, and those are the best players in this draft. They're saying 7 guys go in the first round from the defensive end position.
This is about finding a leader, I would say, and a guy that wants to win. Along with
they're trying to find a JJ Watt type player.
Yes, so like a guy up front, maybe a linebacker.
Linebacker isn't going 1. Linebacker's not going 1. This is not draft day. Come on now. That was a crappy ass movie, but we won't get into that. That's a rant for another day. Anywho, now we did that. Shout out the Denver Pioneers. They won their.
If they go top 10, it depends on the team. If a team is looking for a guy to help down their defense,
when Kyle Hamilton goes 9 to the Seahawks, Twitter's gonna burn down.
I hate you.
They spend 3 first-round picks on 2 safeties. Well, they already got Quandre.
Hey! You know, on say they have Kyle Hamilton going number 2, and he's a safety.
No, Kyle Hamilton's not gonna go 2. He's gonna fall out of the top 10. I really think so, unless Atlanta maybe, but that's the only team I can see him going to.
I do not think Detroit pick up a safety.
Detroit's going to take either. If Aiden Hutchinson's there, he's going Detroit. If not, it's going to be either Kevin Walker or Malik Willis.
Well, look, all right. If Aiden Hutchinson does not go first, Detroit should take.
He's going to. Yeah, because Michigan, Detroit, right? Detroit's in Michigan. I mean, he went University Ann Arbor right there. He's going to sell tickets for you. That's what you need in a top pick anyway. That, or if you go 1, then you go Malik Willis or Kayvon Thibodeau. That's just. I mean, Detroit's got the easiest decision, really. If Aiden Hutchinson's there, you go him. If not, it's Malik Willis, Kayvon Thibodeau. There's not much debate, in my opinion. But
the one that was funny, I have not seen any Georgia D linemen's in the top 10. I'm kind of surprised.
Walker will go first, and then it'll be either Wyatt or Jordan Davis.
At least, let me rephrase it. There's no one in the top 10 that went to Georgia, at least for the NFL prediction list.
That's not true. They're gonna have 7 in the first round side, or not 7. They're gonna have in the first round. So
I was looking at this, and I had to raise my eyebrow for a second. I'm like, wait a second.
And them mock drafts are never right. They're just BS anyway.
Hey, you know what? I mean, if you're a team that's tanking, just try to do the Cleveland formula. It worked very well for them until they drafted Baker Mayfield. And even Baker Mayfield was somewhat of a decent quarterback that most of these teams would take at this point. That don't have a quarterback, obviously.
The funny part is, if Baker Mayfield was in this draft class, he'd still be probably the first quarterback to go off the board.
Well, yeah, because he was decent in college. But another thing you must consider, Baker Mayfield had a terrible season last year, but part of it you have to give him some slack because of that injury.
He had a bunch. He had a bunch of injuries last year, but he also was in Cleveland where he had 3 different head coaches in his first 3 years. So I mean, or 4 different head coaches in his first 3 years. He had Hugh Jackson. He had what was that guy's name? Greg Williams, Freddie Kitchens, and then this dude now, Kevin Stefanski. He's had 4 different head coaches in his time in Cleveland. Like, that's just crazy to think about. I mean, that was never a place where he's going to succeed. So we'll see what Deshaun Watson does, but it's going to be interesting what's going on with Cleveland. We're not staying on the NFL. We're going back to shout out the Denver Pioneers for winning their 9th NCAA men's ice hockey championship. They just won it over the weekend. And guess what? The Frozen Four is coming back to Tampa for the 3rd time.
Woohoo! We're a hockey town.
Yeah, real hockey tonight. We already
Frozen Fours in Tampa next year. Guess we are going to have
we
to
need a
show
Final
out.
Four back in Tampa again. That'll be fun too.
Well, for men's or women, because men's, I mean,
Either, either.
because men's Final Four games are held in big NFL stadiums, like dome NFL stadiums.
Oh yeah.
They are.
No, I'm saying women's though. We need to have the women's back here.
I mean, imagine having the men's Final Four at Ray J. And
An outdoor basketball game. No, probably like the Tropicana or whatever. But yeah,
hey, that could work. But I mean, even a Tropicana feels a dump. If they've made a new baseball stadium for Tampa Bay.
Hey, that's hot topics. That's hot topics. Wait. Stop talking.
I'm
this is NCAA. You're going off.
This is NCAA idea. All right.
Okay,
if we have an indoor dome or like a glass canopy stadium in Tampa, on the Tampa Bay side, we should try to get a Final Four for NCAAs.
Okay, cool. Moving on. What's next? What was I thinking? Oh yeah, spring games started. We're gonna see what's going on with DJ Uiagalelei. He was
DJ Uiagalelei.
Yeah, he had a rough season last year. They're talking about him getting pushed by this new kid on the block. So we're gonna see what Clemson does. I don't expect too much from them, but everybody's overanalyzing everything because it's spring. You know,
I don't buy the bait on spring. I would wait till summer to hear how the practices goes.
Yeah, last year all you heard about was Kool-Aid Williams. I don't even think he played a lot last year. You didn't hear much about him in the fall.
I mean, that's the thing. I just don't bite the bait like that. So I want
to the hype season, but we'll talk more about that on Thursday with our guests. But anywho, we'll be like recapping Orange and Green game and all that good stuff. But I mean, let's actually move on over to hot topics now. I think it's time, or how much time we have left? I have no idea.
We could go to hot topics.
All right, so the NHL, man, they're in the final 9 to 10 games. The Atlantic Division, it's just the teams are essentially decided who's getting in the playoffs. The Lightning are going to clinch tonight, hopefully. They're the last team to, actually, for some reason. I don't even know why, but they're going to be going in there. But it's going to be between them. The Florida Panthers essentially locked up the first seed in the Atlantic, but it's between the Bruins, the Lightning, and the Maple Leafs to decide who's going to get the wild card seed and who's going to get the other top 2 of the 3 seeds left. Because whoever gets the wild card seed is going to be going to Carolina to play. So I don't think they'd want that. So we shall see how that out. An interesting thing is here, though. This one I found was funny was, oh yeah, that too. But I already said that they're going to be getting in their ticket punch tonight. But so Vegas, Vancouver, and Winnipeg are trying to get back into Dallas to get that last spot in the playoffs, where they are currently like 6 points, so 3 games behind Dallas. So if Dallas slips up, somebody's going to be stealing that spot. Oh, wow. 81-64, almost the end of the third right now for the NBA game. But it's going very interesting to see who gets that spot in the Pacific Division, as well as the wildcard spot for the Western Conference, because essentially it's going to be Avalanche already booked their ticket, but Minnesota and St. Louis should be booking their tickets relatively soon. I'd say in the next 2 to 3 games, they're going to be booking their tickets. Calgary's going to be booking their tickets soon. Edmonton, for their first round exit, is going to be booking their ticket. Before we talk about
wow, you just assumed Edmonton's going to get bounced in first round again?
Yes, Connor McDavid. That's what he always does. Him and Austin Matthews get bounced in the first or second round. I will change my song when they actually win into the Western Conference or Eastern Conference Finals.
What about the Maple Leafs?
They got to get to the second round. They have to win 4 games in the playoffs in a year.
Oh boy!
But yeah, so as of right now, we have I've lost it. Oh, Dallas Stars have 86 points, right? They are the last team in the Western Conference playoffs. Vegas has 84, so they're 1 game behind them, but they also have played 1 more game than Dallas. The Jets have 81 points, so they're 5 games, and Vancouver's 80 points, which is a long shot to make it because it's 3 games back, and they've also played an extra game. So I mean, they better hope Dallas doesn't have like epic collapse. Which is always funny because you see the Dallas Stars having success, the Dallas Mavericks having success, even in the playoffs. And then you have the Dallas Cowboys who, when can goes wrong, will go wrong kind of thing.
What can go wrong will go wrong.
Hey, remember this. The Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Stars have had more like conference finals appearances than the Dallas Cowboys have had over the last 20 years. So keep that in mind, boys and girls, ladies, gentlemen everywhere out there.
Isn't Dallas an American team? Is Dallas a football town? I'm just saying this. Texas is supposedly like the football capital of the world, ladies and germs. All right, even though they cannot produce as many NFL talent as Florida, they don't have any good college football teams with the exception of Texas A&M. Let's see, both NFL teams in the state of Texas are dumps. What else do I need to say? It's too much goes on in the state of Texas.
What's even better? The Los Angeles Kings, man. I mean, they still got Hans Kopitar and Drew Doughty, but they're in a technical rebuild. Like Jonathan Quick already played his last game. Their goaltender from the 2012 team when they won that, he's already retired. They're in a rebuild right now, but yet they're going to be making the playoffs. The Los Angeles Lakers, who have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, are sitting home going to Cancun right now, while a team in the rebuild in the NHL is going through a Western Conference and is making the playoffs. I mean, albeit they do have freebie games again. Like
I'm going to blame
Seattle
Frank
and Arizona.
I'm blaming Frank Vogel for this, and the Lakers management.
But the Rams won the Super Bowl. The Clippers were in Western Conference Finals last year. The Chargers were competing for a playoff spot. They didn't get it. But the LA Dodgers were in the World Series last year, and they won the World Series the year before. And yet the Lakers' only relative success came in a bubble for Mickey Mouse, for LeBron James, because LeBron James owns.
I didn't say anything about Mickey Mouse now, all right? I'm not going to bring that childish talk on this platform. I'm sorry. But if you're a grown man...
It's the bubble ring. The only relative success
okay, bubble ring I'll allow, but
no fan.
But we're not going to go on this podcast and we're going to be calling LeBron LaMickey out in public, all right?
I didn't say he was LaMickey.
I know. I'm just saying that right now because it is kind of childish and it would look very informal if you were to say LaMickey.
I didn't say it though. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying the Orlando Magic have the same amount of playoff appearances outside the bubble as the Lakers do. In LeBron James era. Just keep that in mind. And they both lost in the first round. So, who's really taking out your stat news? The Magic ratio y'all into next year. Ratio you guys into next year was a historic ratio.
That was a funny ratio. Like, I would expect that kind of ratio to happen from like the Twitter account of just like the Sacramento Kings or something, or the Atlanta Hawks, because those Twitter accounts are notoriously the funniest Twitter accounts for NBA. If you're on NBA Twitter, the Sacramento Kings are guaranteed to make you laugh.
Albeit because they can't get you to laugh in April or May.
Hey, they still do with a few funny tweets.
You don't get the joke. They can't make you. The Sacramento Kings can't make you laugh in April or May.
You mean Sacramento Kings cannot make you sad in April and May?
No, they make you sad in early April because they're already eliminated.
Well, look, Kings fans are still suffering from that Western Conference BS back in 2000.
That's true, but that was also, it's 16 years since they last been in the playoffs, and there's already even a play-in tournament, which LeBron had to use last year to get into the playoffs. I mean, we're not even talking about that. I mean, it's sad over in California right now for basketball. So that's what it is.
What are we talking about with the Magic fans now? What's going on here?
Oh no. How are we feeling about Kaepernick's workout in Michigan's Pro Day? I thought we did this one last week.
I thought we did that too.
Yeah, I think he should be getting a job soon. I mean,
I already said this. He should be at least getting a second string job.
this is the one I'm gonna talk about because this actually is a good thing he brought that up because as we know, Kaepernick he took that knee and then he's been blackballed from the NFL since, right? He can't get a job and he's been talking all that. And then remember how they had that.
I mean, can the man at least get a job in the CFL?
I don't know, but the point is they did that to Kaepernick, but then you have Jonathan Isaac who's doing the exact opposite of what Kaepernick did. He's like, so like Kaepernick, he took the knee. Jonathan Isaac has a whole book and he's making a crap ton of money on why I stand, pandering to the uber right side, right? Yeah, the man hasn't played basketball in 2.5 years, but Orlando Magic fans think he should be starting over a top 3 pick or Chuma Okeke, who's actually been improving the last 2 years, while Jonathan Isaacs has been rehabbing from his injuries and going to.
Well, hey, slow down. I mean, as much y'all want to make fun of Jonathan Isaac for being on Fox News more than on an NBA court, I mean, you also have to consider the fact that injury he had was kind of nasty. It was an ugly injury. Of course, it's going to take time. All right,
2 years to recover from an ACL.
I don't know how long it takes for Klay Thompson to recover.
He tore his Achilles. He took a year, tore his Achilles after, and then he missed another year. Jonathan Isaac had an ACL injury and he missed 2 years.
No, that was KD. Klay Thompson
tore his ACL in the finals, and then before the season last year, he tore his Achilles. Check yourself, bud. And that is going to... Oh, yeah. The U.S. men's actually made the World Cup.
I mean, who else? I mean, Jamal Murray is still out.
He tore his ACL last March. Jonathan Isaac tore his ACL in August of 2020.
I know, in the bubble.
Jamal Murray tore his ACL in the playoffs last year.
Hey, man, every injury is different. You can't just keep comparing injuries like that.
That's not the point.
Every person body, every different injury is different.
The point is they think he's still a starting caliber player right off the bat next year over a top 3 pick.
Well, okay, maybe not off the bat. No, I mean, unless he finished recovering right now and start training over summer, then maybe. But right now, no.
Okay, imagine this is 2019. You have a healthy Zion Williamson coming out of the draft. You have the first pick in the draft, but you have Jonathan Isaac who hasn't played in 2 years. You draft Zion Williamson. Are you starting Zion Williamson over Jonathan Isaac, or are you starting Jonathan Isaac who hasn't played in 2 years over Zion?
I'd let them fight for the minutes if they were playing right now.
Oh boy! Oh my God! Okay.
If Jonathan Isaac comes back, I mean, right now I would start Okeke, but Jonathan Isaac is there to challenge his minutes. That's what I would do if I was an organization. He is there to challenge him.
Or you trade his ass for Donovan Mitchell in Utah because he'd do great in Utah, in my opinion.
Utah is not going to trade for Jonathan Isaac. You're going to have to put in some other guy in there.
Well, not straight up. Obviously, no. I'm not stupid. I'm saying you put in other guys in it, but you also put Jonathan.
Who are you going to give up? Markel
ain't getting traded for all those idiots out there who think who's going to be the odd man out. Nah, it's
what about Cole Anthony? Would they trade him?
Bye. That's just me in a rant. So yeah, like I said, U.S. men's making the World Cup since 2014, so that's a good thing.
Right now, ladies and germs. Mr. Ace right now is giving me a headache, ladies and germs.
You gave me a headache with Frank Vogel talking so loud, blowing out the microphone.
Because Frank Vogel pisses me off every time.
Jonathan Isaac pisses me off. He talks so much, but he hasn't played in 2 years.
Look, Frank Vogel has allowed THG to believe that he's the first over Russell Westbrook and LeBron James sometimes. I mean...
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's kind of stupid.
It is true. And Frank Vogel also let Malik Monk took the final shot instead of Westbrook. I mean, just let that sink in, ladies and germs. Let that sink in.
All right, but ladies and germs,
Frank Vogel's gone, so you know what? It is still unprofessional how the Lakers did it, but at the same time, I don't blame them.
Yeah, they lost out on Quinn Snyder, but
hey, I mean, who knows? Maybe not getting Quinn Snyder might prevent the Lakers from all other headaches. Just want to say that.
Quinn Snyder ain't that bad of a coach. He's better than Vogel. But anyway, ladies, germs, people out there and all that, thanks for another episode. It was actually this one was fun yet interesting, I think.
I said this episode was fun. I don't know about you, but I say it's fun.
I say it was fun and interesting because we had some interesting things we talked about. I mean, we haven't done a play-in breakdown. We did NHL for the first time we did a lot of NHL, I should say, for the first time in a while. Yeah, like we said, the passing game coordinator and recruiting coordinator, offensive linebacker coach is all coming to join the show. Well, not all, one person, but all his accolades and everything's coming to join the show Thursday night. If it would schedule 8 o'clock, not tomorrow. No episode tomorrow. It'll be Thursday. Keep in mind for that. It'll be me and Jay Peeps running that one. We're gonna have questions, everything like that. Recap the orange and green game, So, Flash, what's our motto for this show?
Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and be our friend and share us to all your friends.
Remember, at SportsMuse1, way better info than StatMuse.
And that weirdo that runs that account for us. What? StatMuse? Sports Muse. Real sports, not useless stats. That's it, y'all. See you next week.
Take care, stay blessed, all that. I'm waiting for that outro, but that outro ain't coming.